Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presence. So let's learn something new today. This is very important. So let's proceed with today's plan. So what's our today's plan? We already have learned what are the components we have learned. The components of what VPC, what we have learned how to create VPC. Inside VPC, what we have done, we have learned how to create subnets. Okay, and by default every subnet is a private, and we also have learned how to make the subnet as private. Okay, next we have learned about terminology called bastion server. Hmm? Bastion server is also called as jump server. I'm right. We also have learned about NAT gateway, the purpose of NAT. Now we also have discussed about internet gateway, isn't it? We also have discussed about internet gateway, and then we have discussed about bastion server. Now you have something to talk about bastion server. You also know about NAT gateway, and we also have discussed about the concept of route tables, isn't it? All these terminologies we are familiar about this. In today's session, I want to introduce you one more new concept called NACL. This is what we are planning to learn today. Now today's session. NACL stands for Network Access Control List, and also we have to discuss about something called ephemeral ports. Both goes together. Okay, so let's try to understand what is NACL, why NACL is used in the real time, and what is the purpose behind NACL. So if you want to show this NACL concept, we have to start from the scratch. We have to start from the scratch. We have to create all these components, whatever we have deleted. You know, every day, whatever we have created, we delete it, isn't it? So now I have to create all these components. So give me some time. It will be good revision for you also. Please observe what I'm doing. So I'll be creating VPC. I'll be creating subnets. I'll be enable public IP to the first subnet. I'll create internet gateway, attach internet gateway to my VPC. Okay, and then create route table, attach route table to subnet. Okay, attach route table to internet gateway. The subnet becomes public. So let's complete this part. Let us complete this part. So let's go ahead and create VPC. Subnets. Create subnet in my VPC. WebSN. Any availability zone. Subnet mask. Created two subnets. So let's have pictorial representation parallelly. Meanwhile, let's have a talk with Sumit Rawal. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. So actually, Monday you don't conduct sessions at the same time?
Monday I do conduct, but yesterday I was little busy, so I was unable to conduct it. I have updated in the WhatsApp group, no?
Okay, I don't use WhatsApp.
Okay. I have updated in the WhatsApp group. Yes, Sumit. Any question?
Okay, so I want to ask the question how Netflix maintains, its server. So how it caches the data in the local replication region. For example, there is a movie and for USA, and we want to watch the same in India. So it doesn't copy entire thing. It create a cache, right? So how it maintains that thing?
Okay. Anything more? Is that the first any question? Anything other?
Yeah, this is the first question. And
Hmm.
so regarding Route 53, I have a question like how the request redirection work.
Tomorrow we'll
And
discuss about Route
okay.
53 practicals.
So, and third question, like I need to go for the AWS associate exam, the first exam for
Oh,
the AWS journey.
that means associate level.
Yeah. So, sir,
AWS Certified Solutions Architect associate level you are aiming for.
right.
Yeah.
So, can you give me like suggestion like which book course or study material
Two
should I
things I
go?
recommend. Two things I recommend. Okay. Did you get the dumps from our end?
Sorry, dumps from
From our side?
ours? No, 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 sir. Can you tell me
You
logiclabs.com?
no. Did you pay 999 rupees?
Yeah, I paid 999
You
rupees.
got the recordings, right?
Yeah.
In that folder only you will also have dumps folder.
Okay, okay, okay.
AWS batch 75, you have notes folder where you get the notes. There is one more folder called dumps folder where you get the dumps. We already have shared you the dumps. The dumps are having close to 300 questions.
All right.
Those are frequently asked questions.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to prepare all the dumps. First of all, be perfect in all the dumps. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing, what I want you to do is there is a Udemy course called First Solutions Architect by Stephen Marek. Have you heard?
Stephen Mariga, I heard his name.
Okay, so you please also buy that particular course. Okay,
He's a,
and
sorry,
it's
he
it's
also made courses on Kafka, right? He's the same person, right?
I'm not
Stephen
sure
Mariga.
about that.
It's okay, sir.
Stephen
No
Marek is
problem.
a
I'll-
concern author,
Okay.
so he will also provide you important information. So these two, my training and the dumps and the Stephen Marek information will help you to clear this.
All right.
And coming to Netflix, what you're talking about the caching, there are separate services related to caching. Okay, which Netflix uses. Okay,
All right.
so using those services, it helps in having performance irrespective of a number of users accessing the same object. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a different services altogether, the different infrastructure. Okay, Sumit.
Yeah, I found it. AWS.
Okay,
Yeah, he's the same person who made so many courses on Kafka also. Yeah.
okay,
Stephen Mariga.
fine. Okay, Sumit. Yeah. Did you practice?
Yes, now EC2 at least I am practicing because from my
I'm
company I
talking
got
about VPC.
no, this part no.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, Sumit. Yeah. So let's move on. So I have created VPC and I have created two subnets. One is web subnet. The other one is DB subnet. Okay, done. What's the next part? Enable IP address subnet one. Go to first subnet, obviously web subnet. Actions. Modify autos and IP settings. Enable public IP at the subnet level. Done. Next, create one component, internet gateway, and attach to VPC. Let's do that. Create internet gateway. The internet gateway has been created. You can see the name of the internet gateway which you have created, my AGW. Actions attached to VPC. Attached to my VPC. Done. Okay. Next, create a route table. First, let's create that. Route tables. I am creating a new route table. Internet route table. I want to create it inside my VPC. Route table got created. One end of the route table, attach it to subnet. This is the route table what you have created. Actions, edit subnet associations, attach it to public subnet. One more end of the route table, I will attach it to, you're right, attach it to internet gateway, is it? So again, I select the same route table, actions, edit route, add route, target is internet gateway. This is the name of the internet gateway. It should be always 0 series. Now subnet is public. Okay, so creating NAT. So I'm not creating it. Let's have a physical representation. Create a NAT. So I'm creating a NAT gateway. Create an let's use an existing route table. The purpose of the NAT is to provide internet connectivity to the private subnet, right? One end of the route table will attach it to private subnet. One end of the route table will attach it to NAT gateway. So that's how the private subnet will also get internet access. Okay. Now, so this part I'm not doing it. Anyways, it's not not the part of practicals of today's session. So let's go ahead and create an EC2 machine in the public subnet. I am creating an EC2 machine in the public subnet. I'm creating a web server. So what ports I'm opening? HTTP port, SSH port, and HTTP port I'm opening. So I'm naming the key pair as web server. Today's state 03 KP web server WebSG 03. So let's create the web server. Okay. Web server is nothing but an EC2 machine. I'm going with Amazon Linux. Under my VPC, under first subnet, bootstrap scripts. WebSG03 is the name of the security group which I'm creating. SSH and HTTP. SSH only I should able to connect. Web server anybody can connect using HTTP. Review and launch. Click on launch. Create a new key pair. So I have successfully created a web server. Okay. Done. Let's wait for the web server to be created. Let's have a diagrammatic representation of Bastion server. We create Bastion server in the public subnet. So let's name it as Bastion server. So what is the purpose of the Bastion server? For the DBAs. The purpose of the Bastion server is for DBS. So DBS will connect to the Bastion server. From the Bastion server, they jump to the DB server. So let's create a DB server. So the DB server SSH port will be open to the Bastion server. We know that. So the DBA will connect to the Bastion server. From the Bastion server, he'll be connecting to the DB server. So this part we already know it. So let's wait for the web server to be created. Web server is running, and you can also see it takes 1.series 10.0.1.series. That means it is available in the public subnet. Let's try to access the web server using the public IP address. Are you getting the web server? Not only me, anybody in the world can access the web page, my web server, and able to get the web page. That's fine. Okay. Now let's now something learn about NACL, stands for Network Access Control List. Let's discuss about NACL. Okay. So very important concept. Yes, Selvan. Tamil.
Hi Sunil, how are you?
I'm fine. Selvan, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you. Yes. How
My
is your
question,
practice going on?
it's going on, Sunil. I am practicing with the VPC and other areas.
Okay, you are able to understand the each importance of each and every component.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I already have some experience in AWS.
Okay, so that is
In,
helping you. Mm-hmm.
yeah, correct. Actually, my question is related to VPC.
Hmm.
Like, how many subnets we can create under a VPC?
There
Is
is
there
no limitation.
okay, but on one of the block, I found there is a limitation like 200 only. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, okay. Technically,
Okay,
clients will have maximum seven, eight. That's all. Okay.
okay.
There's no need for creating those many number of subnets. Okay. Generally, you can say it as unlimited. Okay.
Okay, Sunil. Okay. Then I'd like to thank you for your wonderful sessions about this AWS and DevOps.
Okay. Thank you.
I am
Thank you.
attending DevOps also.
So okay, which batch? 4:30.
Yeah, for the debate. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Thanks, Sunil. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvan. I want to have a discussion with you. Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah. Yes.
So we have created how many subnets?
We created so two subnets.
One is web
Web-based.
subnet, the other one is DB subnet.
Yes.
Which one is a public subnet?
It's web-based
Which one is a private subnet?
DBSN.
Uh, why the DB server is in the private subnet?
Actually, we should put this database in private subnet only. Otherwise, everybody can access due to
For
security.
security purpose, you are
Yeah,
right.
securities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most important secured instances are the database instances. If the DB instances are hacked, then it will be a serious problem, isn't it, Civil One?
Yeah.
So as we want to give highest security to the DB server, so we always create DB servers in the private subnet. Next point, why did we create web server in the public subnet?
Because it should be available to all in the world. That's why we are creating
Exactly.
website.
Anybody in the world should connect to the web server and will have access to application, isn't it?
Right.
So that is the reason web server is always should be available in the public subnet.
Public, yes.
Okay, next. I have one more question.
Yeah, Sunil.
This is web server, isn't it, Tamil? This is web server,
Yes,
right?
Sunil. Yes.
What ports we have opened in the web server?
We opened SSH port and one more port,
HTTP port.
HTTP. Yes.
We have opened SSH port and and HTTP port at the EC2 level, web server
Yes.
level. Agree?
Yes. Yes. Agree.
What is the purpose of the port? What is the
Uh,
importance of the port?
uh, Actually, it's one of the way we can connect to the particular server. This EC2.
Exactly. Ports are nothing but points of communication, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
so EC2 machine will receive the request as well as send the request only through the ports. Ports are nothing
Ports.
but gates to the EC2 machine. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, you have any idea on NACL, Selvan?
No, Sunil. Actually, I'm working as a DBA, but I don't have any knowledge
Any
about
knowledge
NHCL.
about NACL? Now look at this,
Okay.
Selvan.
Yes,
Please
Sunil.
try to understand this statement. Security group will provide security at the instance level.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
isn't it? Security group will provide the security at instance level. Instance level is nothing but the EC2 level. So, using security group only, you are defining, you are controlling which should able to, which port should be opened, from which IP address it should open. It is providing security to the EC2 machine level. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
NACL will provide security at the subnet level.
Okay.
Okay, security group is providing, you're defining, you're controlling which port needs to be open, which IP address should able to connect. You're controlling your access to EC2 machine. That is possible using security group. Using NACL, you can do the same job. You can increase the security at the entire subnet level.
Net level. Okay.
It provides a security to the subnet level, not the
Subnet.
EC2 machine. It's a higher level. It's a subnet level. It is providing one more security. Again, I repeat, Tamil. The most important concern the clients have when they migrate to AWS or cloud, okay,
Mm-hmm.
is that the most highest concern what they have is security. They will
Yeah.
always think that is it secure. Okay, AWS does not compromise on security. At wherever possible, it is adding one more layer of security. So NACL concept increases the security at what level? At the entire subnet level.
Okay.
Okay, so got it, to understand it. So let's experience how NACL will provide security at the subnet level. Now, Tamil Selvan, are we now able to access the web server, right? We are taking the public IP address.
Yeah, we are able to access
We are able to access the
web server.
web server. We are getting my Google page. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Now, what I'm doing, let's start learning practically. So, we'll not have theoretical understanding. Let's go ahead and directly create a NACL. Okay. So, how to create NACL? I want to create NACL. So, how to create NACL in the VPC dashboard itself? We have network access control list. How many NACLs are there? By default, there are two NACLs, one for a default VPC, one NACL is already created when you create a new VPC. So anyways, we are not disturbing the default settings. So what I am doing, so you have to understood that whenever we create a VPC, by default, NACL is created automatically. You have understood this statement?
Yes, Sunil.
We have two NACLs. This is the default NACL for the default VPC. This is new NACL, which we have created, which got created automatically when we have created our own VPC.
VPC.
So
Okay.
let's not disturb it. Let's create our own NACL. And I want to attach NACL to what level?
Subnet level.
Yes. So as I am attaching NACL to subnet level, let's name it as this is NACL. Create NACL. Name of the NACL. As I'm attaching to public subnet, I'm writing it as public NACL. Where do you want to create NACL? Inside our
My
VPC.
VPC. Yeah.
NACL got created. After creating NACL, what you need to do? Attach NACL to the subnet. We will be attaching NACL to which subnet?
Web based.
WebSL. So right now, this is NACL which we have created.
Yeah.
Actions, edit subnet associations, and attach it to first subnet, WebSL. Edit subnet associations, I have attached it to first subnet. Done? Tamil?
Yeah.
Am I clear what we have done? Very simple. What we have done is we have created NACL and attached NACL to the entire subnet level. Okay?
Yeah. It's
Clear?
clear. Actually. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's try to access the web server. Taking the web server, taking the web server public IP, cell1. Now I am trying to access the. Last time I am able to get it right. Just before 2 minutes, we have tried to access it. We are able to get the web server.
Yes.
Now, cell1, interestingly, are you able to get access the web server? Are you able to connect it to EC2 machine?
No.
You are not able to connect to EC2 machine. When you have created NACL, when we have attached NACL to the public subnet, you are not able to connect to EC2 machine. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. That is the observation. Now try to understand. I repeat again, not only for you, everybody. Security group will help you in providing security to the EC2 machine only, whereas NACL provides the security at the entire subnet level. To understand, very simple. Let's say Tamil, I am staying in an apartment. Okay, my apartment is having 10 floors, and each floor is having some 10 flats. Total 100 apartments, 100 flats are there. Are you understand Tamil?
Yeah.
NACL is something like a main entrance to the entire
Building.
community. Okay, right?
Okay.
Main
Okay.
entrance.
Yeah.
And my flat entrance, well, let's say my flat number is 405. So this is a gate at my flat, entrance
Okay.
door of my flat. This is the main entrance door. So if any visitor wants to come to my apartment, let's say my apartment number is 405, he needs to cross two gates. First, he needs to enter into my community from the main gate, okay, and then come to my apartment and then enter to my flat. Agree or not? Two entrances. One is the entrance to the entire community, one is to entrance to the my flat. Are you understand Tamil? In the
Yeah.
same way, if anybody wants to connect to my EC2 machine, he needs to, the request should pass through two gates. First point, it should pass through NACL.
NACL.
So first
Yeah.
the request will enter into the subnet, then the request will enter into the EC2 machine and access the web server, right? The
Correct.
two gates,
Yeah.
main gate and then my apartment gate. Similarly, subnet NACL is something like the entrance security at the entire subnet level. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, whenever I have created NACL and I have attached it to VPC, I'm not getting the web page. That means what is blocking? By default, NACL is blocking the incoming connections. If main, we have opened the apartment flat, but the main gate is closed. So obviously nobody can enter, isn't it, Tamil Selvan?
Yeah. Correct.
Agree? So what is the observation? NACL is blocking the incoming connections. Agree to my statement?
Yes, Sunil.
Look at this. Now we are trying to access the web server. Are you getting the web page? No, we are not
No.
getting the web page. So what you need to do? We need to open the port at what level? NACL. Like how you are opening ports at the security group.
Okay.
Like how we are opening ports, right? What ports you are opening? SSH port you are opening, HTTP port you are opening at what level? In the EC2 security group level. Similarly, you should also open the port for
NACL.
NACL. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need to open the port. What port I'm opening? Let's say for example, SSH port I'm opening. Okay.
Okay.
And then HTTP port I'm opening. How many ports I'm opening? SSH port as well as HTTP ports I'm opening. Okay.
Okay.
SSH port I'm opening only to my IP address.
Okay.
And then HTTP port, anybody in the world can access the web server. Okay.
Okay.
So how to open the ports at NACL? Okay. Go to NACL, which we have just now created. This is the NACL which we have just now created. Actions, edit inbound rules, or here also we have inbound rules. Edit. By default, nothing is there. Nothing is opened.
Okay.
I'm adding the ports at what level? At the NACL level. Add new rule. How many rules I'm adding? Two rules I'm
So
adding. Rule number 100. SSH port to only to my IP address. Okay, so I'll tell you. This is my IP address. Okay, one more rule, 200. HTTP port open to all. 0 means anybody in the world can connect to the enter into the subnet. Agree?
yeah, agree.
Two ports I'm opening. One is SSH port only to my IP address. Only I can connect to the terminal of web server, and then anybody can access using HTTP. Save changes. Done. So Tamil Selvan again communication. So first request will enter into the subnet
NACL.
from the NACL, and then it will enter into the web server. Web server already ports are open. Only we are opening the ports at NACL.
NACL level.
As we have opened the ports at NACL, now let's try to access the web server. Now this is a web server. I'm trying to access Samil Selvan. Now will it be opened?
Yeah, it will open soon.
Yes. Look at this. Are you getting the page? No, we are not getting the page. Something more we have to do it. Okay. Let's try to
Okay.
understand why we are not getting the page. Look at this. Are we able to get the page? No. Why? We have to understand the concept of stateful and stateless in nature. We have to understand the concept of stateful and stateless. What is stateful? What is stateless? Let's try to understand. I want to have a discussion with respect to security group. Tamil Selvan. We have created one security group. We have opened the SSH port and HTTP port at the security group. Agree? Let's
Yes,
refer
Sunil.
to that particular security group. How to
Mm-hmm.
refer to that particular security group? Go to the EC2 machine. Hmm. So this is the security group WebSG03. You can clearly see that how many ports are open. We can clearly see that there are SSH port is open and HTTP port is open.
Yes, Sunil.
Okay, we clearly see it. Where we have opened the ports,
EC2 level.
EC2 level, that to inbound rules we have opened.
Okay.
Security group is having two types of rules, inbound rules and outbound rules. Whenever you are opening the ports, right from day one, when we want to open the ports, I'm only opening at inbound level. Am I disturbing the outbound level? No.
No.
Till now, we are only opening the required ports at the inbound level. Outbound level, we are not doing it by because by default, the outbound rules are open to allowed all traffic. By default, outbound rules are open to all.
Okay.
Okay, this is something like incoming gate and outgoing gate. Okay, outbound rules by default you don't need to open. By default, it is open to all. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so did we open the ports at outbound tab? No. In security group, when we open only at the inbound level. By default, outbound port is
Open to
open to
all.
all. This is called stateful in nature. Important from the interview question. Security groups are stateful in nature. That means security group is also having inbound rules as well as outbound rules. But this security group is stateful in nature. Whatever the ports you want to open, you have to open only at the inbound rules level. Outbound rules by default, it is open to all. This concept is called as stateful.
Okay.
Clear, Tamil?
Yeah, clear.
So whenever you want to open the security group port, we also only open the inbound level only. We will not worry about the outbound level. Whereas, so we have opened HTTP incoming. By default, outbound is open to all. Hence we are able to access the web server. This is called as what nature? Stateful in nature. For NACL, the case is different. We need to open outbound ports also explicitly. NACL is having inbound ports as well as outbound ports. We have opened at inbound level. We have to also open the same ports at what level?
Outbound port.
Outbound level also. Okay, it's like incoming gate and outgoing gate. Tamil
Okay.
Selvan. Okay,
Okay.
so you have to explicitly open the outbound ports also. This we need to open outbound ports also explicitly. That is why it is called as what nature? Stateless in
Stateless.
nature.
Okay.
In stateless nature concept, we have to explicitly open inbound as well as outbound
Outbound.
ports. So let's go to NACL. This time I go to outbound rules. Can you see here we have inbound rules as well as outbound rules.
Outbound
Inbound
rules.
rules we already have opened, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I go to outbound rules, edit outbound rules. Whatever you do it at inbound level, the same rules we have to open obviously in the outbound
Outbound
rules.
rules.
Okay, so I'm adding 2 more rules. Selvan, you're understanding, you're able to understand, right?
Yeah, Sunil. It's clear.
So rule number 100. Just repeating the same in outbound rules. Okay,
Okay.
save changes. I think I'm right. Save changes. So, Selvan, we have opened the incoming ports as well as incoming gates as well as outgoing gates. Now try to access the
A page.
web page. Are you able to get the web page? Still, we are not able to get the web page, so we need to learn something more.
Okay.
Even though we have opened the incoming ports as well as outbound ports at NACL level, but still the request is unable to reach the web server. What is the problem? Are we now able to access the web server after outbound ports also? No, you're not able to access the web server. So we should learn something about ephemeral ports concept. Now I want to discuss something called ephemeral ports. Tamil Selvan, have you heard about this ephemeral ports? Have you heard anything about ephemeral ports? Hmm? Are you there, Tamil? Do you know any idea about ephemeral ports? Okay. Before learning about ephemeral ports, let's try to have a dictionary meaning of the term ephemeral. What do you mean by ephemeral? Hmm? Let's try to understand the conceptual meaning of the term ephemeral, not technical meaning. Let's have a general meaning of the term ephemeral. Ephemeral is nothing but lasting very short time, temporary. The term ephemeral is temporary. Fashions are ephemeral. Fashions are always temporary. Okay. Example, some other words are nothing but temporary, brief, transient, short term. So you have understood the concept of ephemeral. In other words, temporary. So why ephemeral ports is now wanted? So as per networking term concept, the total range of ports are 0 to 65,535. These are the range of ports. Out of this range, 1,024 to 65,000. See, look at this, 90% of the range are allocated to ephemeral ports. So search in Google ephemeral ports in AWS, you get the range. Ephemeral ports 1024 to 65,000 is the ephemeral ports range. So these are the range of ephemeral ports. Okay. Now, what is now the importance of ephemeral ports? Try to understand. Let's try to understand. Before explaining about the importance of ephemeral ports, look at a scenario. Look at a scenario. Assuming in public subnet, there are 100 web servers. This is the public subnet. Assuming there are 100 web servers, can there be 100 web servers? Yes, why not? There can be 100 web servers. That's not a problem. 100 web servers are there. I want to have an interaction with Dev. Dev, can you hear me? Can we have a talk?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Dev. Can we have a talk with context of
Yes,
understanding the concept of ephemeral ports? And then we'll also have a question. Okay, Dev?
sure.
The term ephemeral we have understood is something like temporary. Okay. Assuming in public subnet there are 100 web servers, can it be possible? 100 web servers, can it be possible in the website subnet? Definitely it is, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, possible.
All the 100 web servers are connected to load balancer. We know that. So load balancer will receive the incoming traffic. It will distribute the traffic to all the 100 EC2 machines, isn't it, Dev?
Yes.
Now the point is, look at a scenario. If hacker is blocking HTTP port in one web server, assuming in web server there's a HTTP port, a hacker is blocking the HTTP port.
Okay.
If a hacker blocks a HTTP port of one web server, is that a serious problem?
No, sir. For that only one web server, we cannot connect to HTTP,
But
and we
remaining
can connect to
99
my
servers are perfectly running. So load balancer will understand that that particular EC2 machine is unhealthy, and it will distribute the traffic to remaining 99 machines. So
99
that is
server.
not at all a serious problem. Okay, look
Yes.
at this. If a hacker blocks HTTP port in one web server, will it be a big problem? No, because load balancer will send the request to remaining 99 servers so that the end users will get the application. No problem. But the dev, if hacker is blocking HTTP port at NACL level, level is nothing but subnet level.
Subnet level.
If hacker is blocking a particular port, if hacker is blocking a port at what level? NACL
NACL.
level, will it be a serious problem?
Yes. Why? Because it is a network access level which we providing security for subnet, right?
So all the
So
100
this is
machines
the
cannot be connected.
this is the main incoming, and the main incoming was blocked by the hacker. So that is the reason we could not
That
access
means
the
entire
subnet.
application is down. Agree?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If a hacker block a HTTP port at NACL, the entire website is down. How to overcome this problem? To avoid this problem, our AWS provides a range of ports, Dev, 1024 to 65,535. They are called as what ports? Ephemeral ports. Okay. We need to
Okay.
open this range of ports at NACL level. Dev, at NACL level, as of now, we have opened two ports. One is HTTP port, the other one is
SSH port.
SSH port. Now we have to open ephemeral port also. Okay. That range of
Okay.
ports we need to open. We need to open the range of ephemeral ports at NACL level. We need to open this range at NACL level so that when we open this range, what happens there? If a hacker blocks HTTP port,
Yes, sir.
AWS automatically identifies that the HTTP port at NACL is blocked. AWS uses a random port from this range. It automatically picks up one port from this range, and that port is converted as a HTTP port.
Okay.
Automatically. All this will happen automatically in a fraction of a second. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So, if a hacker blocks HTTP port at NACL level, automatically one more port is converted to HTTP port so that the website will never go down. Clear,
Yeah,
Dev?
clear.
So
Sir.
what we have to do? We have to open the ephemeral
Ephemeral
ports
ports.
range at what level? NACL level. And opening ephemeral ports is mandatory. It's not optional.
Okay.
That's the reason. Did we open the ephemeral ports? We are not opening ephemeral ports. That's the reason we are not able to access the website. Opening the ephemeral ports is not optional. It is mandatory.
Okay. Sir,
Dev?
if my understanding is right, can I ask one question?
Yes.
By default, we have opened the SSH port and HTTP port.
Yes.
Actually, it has to be connected to the public subnet. But because
No,
of
no,
this
no.
emperor
No, no,
ports
no.
are not
No, no.
opened,
It is already connected to public subnet.
Yes, sir. It is already connected, but we couldn't able to access the web page, right?
Yes.
So if these Ephemeral Ports are open, by
Then
the
you will connect it to web server.
web server, that
Otherwise,
means
still
the connection will cross through these Ephemeral Ports which we
ports.
open, right?
That is only when the ephemeral ports are open, then only the public NACL will accept the connections. Until then, it will not accept the connections. Okay. It is a
Okay.
mandatory. You are right. So your understanding is right there. So what I'll do now, I open NACL, I open the ephemeral ports range at NACL.
Okay.
So let's go to the public NACL. Inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. As of now, Dev, you can see there are two rules, rule number 100, rule number HTTP and SSH. I'm adding one more new rule. Rule number, I'm writing it as
300.
300. Let's have it as custom TCP rule. And then range, port range. Port range will be this one. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Save. I have opened the ephemeral ports also. Now, Dev, now can I access the web server?
Yes, sir. We should able to access.
Why we are not able to access the web server still? Because whatever you do it at inbound level, you have to do it at a outbound level also. Did you open ephemeral at the outbound?
No, not it.
So we have to also do it at the outbound level. Now, are we able to access the web server? No, because NACL is stateless in nature. We need to open the port at a outbound level also. Remember, when you're dealing with NACL, whatever you're doing at inbound level, you have to do it at the
Outbound level.
Outbound level also. Save. Okay. At least finally, are we able to access the web server? Now you should be able to access the web server. It will take some time. Are you able to now access the web server?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so ephemeral ports needs to be opened at NACL, and it is mandatory. Then only NACL will start accepting the connections. Got it, Dev?
Yes, sir.
So is it NACL adding one more layer of security at the entire subnet level?
Yes, it's having.
Yes. I said the most important in the interview, they'll ask you, what is the highest concern the clients have when they go to cloud? Clients are ready to pay the bill, not a problem. Billing is not a great concern. For them, the security is the highest concerns, and that is no doubt is not, there's no compromise on the security, especially for the AWS. Okay, clear, Dev?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the use of NACL? I hope you know the answer. The use of NACL is providing one more layer of security at the entire subnet level.
Subnet level.
Yep. Yes, Dev. Anything more?
In the same way, if you want, you can create another NACL at database server level also, right, sir?
That is, you're talking about private subnet.
Yeah.
Very good question. Very good question. Now, Dev is asking, like how we have created NACL and attached NACL to the public subnet. Can we create NACL and attach NACL to the private subnet? It's not required technically because private subnet itself is secure. Dev,
Yes,
the concept of private subnet itself is secure. So again, there is no concept. Generally, security concerns you will have it at a public subnet because public subnet should be open to world. Okay. So how do you overcome the security threats with respect to public subnet? That is possible using NACL. So NACL is generally used for public subnets. NACLs are generally not used for the private subnet because private subnet by default it is secure. Okay, Dev?
Okay. And my another question is, while we are at Bastion level, we are opening SSH port to our laptop IP, right, sir?
DBA IP address.
Yeah, for DBS, we are opening. We are given only for our
Only
IP.
one.
If couple of users need to connect it to
This question,
database server.
let's say there are 2 database administrators or 4 database administrators.
Yeah, yes.
We append one more rules. We add one more rule and we provide their IP addresses. Okay.
Okay.
Every
If we
DBA we
have
can
like
add one. If
if
they
we
have
have like
5
100
DBAs,
users,
100.
if you had like 100 DBs,
Generally,
then we need to
100
create
DBS,
100 roles.
100 database administrators will not have, isn't it? Will have generally 4 to 5 DBS. But
Yeah,
still, in case if you want to have group of machines, DBS will connect to their VPN, right?
yes, sir.
The moment a
Yes.
VPN they connects, that will be connected to the one subnet. Subnet gets created. So network team will provide that particular series of range.
Okay.
Will have entire range of IP addresses to be open. Okay, so that
Okay.
the entire 100 people, whoever connects to VPC, they have access to Bastion server. Got it, Dev? Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clear about the concept of subnet, subnet, not the NACL concept, what we have learned.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Dev.
Yes, sir. And one more question I'm having. This is not related to our discussion, sir. Like this, DevOps session will be also conducted in early morning sessions after
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
because 4:30.
Yeah, DevOps will also start at
Okay.
morning 6 o'clock. You have to wait. Definitely, it will start.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So, what is the use of NACL? You have now the answer. NACL provides the security at the entire subnet level. Okay, fine. Next, definitely, most of the participants may have this question. The question most of the participants may have is, Sunil, you are writing rule number 100, 200, 300. Can we write 10, 20, 30? Can we write 1, 2, 3? Okay. What is the importance of rule number? Can we use any rule number? Is it should be in ascending order? Can I randomly use any rule number? What is the importance of rule number? Obviously, definitely, most of you are having these questions. Now I am discussing about the importance of this rule number. And one more point, if you see at NACL, there's something called allow and deny also. In security group, there's nothing called allow and deny. When you're opening the port, that means it is allow only. Again, there's no concept of deny. If it is denying, will not open the ports. In NACL, you have something called allow and deny. What is this allow? What is this deny? You may have some questions related to this particular. Have you observed about this allow and deny? I want to have a discussion about rule numbers and what is this concept of allow and deny. Let's try to know this. Let's try to have some information about this. Look at the rule number 200. HTTP port allow to all. Anybody in the world can connect to my subnet using HTTP. Okay. Now I'm adding one more rule. Rule number 201. Same port, HTTP port. I'm writing it as deny. First, let's do this and let's try to understand that. Add new rule 201 HTTP deny. Okay, there's a conflict. You are saying HTTP port to allow. You are also saying HTTP port to deny. There's a conflict here. So should it allow or should it deny? The only difference is rule numbers. Okay, I'm changing it inbound level. Save. Similarly, whatever you do it at the inbound level, you have to do it at the outbound rules also. Go to outbound rules, edit outbound rules, add rule T01. HTTP port deny. Save changes. Okay, so observe here. I'm saying HTTP to allow. I'm saying HTTP to deny. It's a conflict. Which should follow? Now, are you able to access the web server? Look at this. Just press enter. Are you now able to access the web server? Yes, we are able to access the web server. That means it is allowing. When you are able to access the web server, that means HTTP request, it is allowing. This means conclusion is lowest rule number will have highest priority. We have when compared to 200 and 201, 200 and 201. 200 is the lowest number. Lowest number is allowing. So that's the reason it is allowing the incoming connection. So lowest rule number. Now you have the importance of rule numbers. Lowest rule number is having the highest priority. They are able to understand the importance of rule number now. You are allowed to unmute.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thanks.
got it? So importance of rule
Yeah,
number
got it,
is
sir.
highest rule, lowest rule number is having the highest priority. Now to test whether this correct is or not, I change the rule 201, I change it to 199. Inbound rule, instead of 201, I'm changing it to 199, save changes. This is at inbound level. Whatever you do it at inbound level, you have to do it at outbound level also, and outbound also. 201, I'm changing it to 199. As per our discussion, as per our understanding, lowest rule number should have highest priority. With respect to 199 and 200, 199 is having the lowest rule number, isn't it, in comparison? So this
Yes,
will
sir.
have highest priority. That means it should stop the HTTP connections. Now try to access the web server.
No, no.
We are not accessing the web server. Thank you, Dev. We are not accessing the web server because 199, when compared to 199 and 200, see, we're still a process. This is from the not, this is old page, still processing.
Yes, sir.
We are not able to access the web server. Okay, so
Yes.
go outbound rules, we have changed it. Now lowest 999 is denying, so we are not able to access the web server. Now you got to know the importance of rule numbers.
Rule numbers.
Use case. A hacker is continuously accessing a web server. A hacker is continuously accessing a
Web server.
web server. Wantedly, he is making web server busy. He's trying to make the application down. Okay. A hacker is continuously accessing the web server, and we want to block his IP address. From the networking team, from the cybersecurity team, we get the IP address of the hacker. We want to block that particular IP address, but other customers should be able to access the web server. Only that hacker should be blocked, not the genuine customers, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, sir.
From the cybersecurity team, we get the IP address of the hacker, and what you have to do, you have to stop that particular hacker's incoming connection. Okay, so how can we do it? Okay, let's assume that I am assuming that I am a hacker. I am the hacker. So what I'll do, what we do is 199 HTTP deny to my IP address. So I am from my IP addresses, I am blocking this particular incoming connections from this IP address. This is at inbound level. Save it. Whatever you do it at inbound level, you have to do it at the outbound level also. Rule number 199. My IP address, I am blocking. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now I take the IP now, Dev. Now I am able
Yes,
to access the web server.
No.
No, because from my laptop it is blocked. Okay.
Yes.
Same IP address. Dev, I'm
Yes, sir.
sending the IP address from the chat box. Pick up the IP address from the chat box and try to access the web application from your laptop. Not only Dev, anybody should able to access the My Google page. Please check and confirm.
Yes, sir. We could able to access.
So anybody in the world, participants, take the IP address from the chat box, try to access my application from your browser. You should able to get my application. My application is nothing but my Google, whatever it is. You should able to access the page. If you are able to access the page, please type yes in the chat box. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what is the understanding you have done it? And I'm stopping the chat so that we can focus on the training. Anybody, all over the world can access my application. Only I cannot access the application. Assuming I'm a hacker, in the interview they'll ask you, participants in the interview they'll ask you, okay, your application should be open to all world. Obviously, Facebook should open to world. Twitter should open to world. Our application should be open to world, but not specific to one IP address. How do you block one IP address? Rest of that IP address, all over the world can access it. But let's say that IP address is nothing but a hacker IP address, and you want to hack a specific IP address, but other users should have able to access. You can do that. That all is possible because of NACL concept
NACL.
only. NACL advantage of NACL is it is providing one more layer of security at the entire subnet level. Okay, Dev, beautiful,
Yes, sir.
right? Very interesting, na?
Yes, yeah, it's very interesting.
Agree or not?
Agreed, sir. It's a good concept.
NACL is not recommended for private subnet because private subnet itself is secure. So you don't need to worry about security. Generally, NACL is used for the public subnets. Superb. Now you are in a position to answer about NACL in the interview. When you are asked about NACL, you should be able to answer it. In the interview, if they ask you about ephemeral ports, you should be able to answer it. In the interview, if you ask about this hacking of how can we block a particular IP address, now you should be in a position to answer. If in the interview, if anybody asks you what is a stateful and stateless in nature, you should be in a position to answer it. If anybody asks you what is the importance of rule numbers, lowest rule number should have highest preference. All this you got to know about this in this particular session, Dev, isn't it? Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Dev. Thank you, Dev.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mohan. You are allowed to talk. I can see your hand raised, Mohan. Your question, please.
Yeah, good morning, Sinan.
Yes, how are you doing, Mohan?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Doing well, yeah, thank you.
Really, this NACL concept is really ultimate.
Yeah,
Actually,
it is
really,
increasing the level of security
yes,
at the entire subnet level.
right.
To visualize, I have explained this concept. Assuming you are living in a community, the community entrance is main gate, and your
Right.
apartment entrance is a security group.
Security. It
If
is
any
an
visitor wants to reach your apartment, he needs to
right.
first enter into the community, and then he should enter into your apartment. Agree?
Right. I agree.
So,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. As you said, like for this only web-based, right? And the same one what you experiencing. If I connect to through, like I'm a hacker, I'm going to this web-based, and if you are just inbound and bound, you just block their door in inbound, and
Exactly.
it will block their IP,
Yes.
which is cyber. We'll get from the cyber whatever
See,
the IP. This is
cyber, we get the hackers information from the cyber security
cyber.
team, so we block
Yes.
that particular IP address at
Yes.
NACL level.
Yes. And the same if you are going to this hack in DB, is it
What is
possible?
BB?
DBS server.
By
That's
default, private address, private subnet itself is secure.
okay.
Have you observed that DB instance is having any IP address?
No, it's not having any IP
There is no
address.
concept of connecting. Okay,
Yes.
itself is secure.
Yes. Yes.
Hackers can
But
communicate
actually,
through
but
IP
in
addresses.
earlier, like
Hacker,
earlier, you have said like to update any patches, something, anything to get in internet, that we need to get the internet. We have some need the route table,
if
all
DBA
these
wants to download some
download
patches
some.
from the
Right.
internet, yeah,
Right.
we have able to get the internet connectivity
Yes.
using NAT. NAT is able to provide internet connection to the
Right.
subnet. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
internet is there, but still IP address is not there, so itself is
Not there.
secure.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, got it now. Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Really, thank you. Like this is really till you're experiencing what I'm experiencing. This is the best I think I'm experiencing this NACL for this.
Okay.
That
Thank.
last on Friday you said like this is a very very much important of this concept
Mhm.
is NACL. That time itself I understand that something it is different
Special.
to others, right? Special. That's why I waited on yesterday also, but
Uh-huh.
you may send him a SMS like a
Okay,
message in
okay.
that today is
And
no session.
this is the first time you're learning, Mohan, or you're already knowing AWS concepts?
No, sir. This is the first time I'm learning, sir.
Okay, okay. You're comfortable, right?
Yes, I'm very much comfortable.
You're attending right from day one?
Yeah, I'm from day one.
So I hope you have understood how exactly cloud. Maybe on the day
Yes.
one you may be completely zero in cloud. Now you are in a
Yes.
position to talk about cloud. You
Yes.
know how exactly cloud is helping the clients to increase the level of security and make the business very easy. Managing the infrastructure becomes very easy because of the features
Yes.
of cloud. These are the reasons why many are going for cloud. Why? To manage all this on premises, you need to hire network administrators, you need to hire system administrators.
Right.
Okay, we should have a huge infrastructure. You need to pay salaries, the workers should work, there should be security 24/7. This is all difficult where company, when they want to maintain their infrastructure on their own data center, Mohan,
Right.
which is very difficult. And cloud is becoming more and more affordable, huh?
Right.
And it's more and more becoming more and more mature day by day. Okay, so finally many clients go to cloud, because of
Right.
these advantages. I
That's right.
hope you are understanding why cloud is booming.
Yes. Yes.
There is no compromise on. In fact, there is more higher security than on-premises infrastructure in cloud.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Mohan.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you so much.
Rajkumar Punjabi. Good morning. I can see your hand raised, Rajkumar. You are allowed to unmute. Let's delete the process of whatever we have done it. And NAT, anyways, we have not created. Let's delete the EC2 mission. Deletion process is also important to read to, so that we will not get the bill. I said, I repeat again, whatever we have practiced, we have to immediately terminate it so that we will not get the bill. This is the web server. Terminate the instances. So with this, we have completed all the concepts of VPC. Okay. There's something called VPC peering. There are some advanced concepts. So to an extent, big medium level concepts we have discussed about VPC. And tomorrow we'll be discussing about Route 53. We are going on to the new service called Route 53. Madhu CH.
Hi.
Hello, Madhu. How are
Hi,
you?
Sunil. I'm fine. I have a question for the NACL.
Yep.
You were given an Ephemeral Ports like a 102426 65535, right?
Yep. You're right.
Yeah. Here, I have a question with what about 3389, 3086? What are different kind of static ports? Is this open for this range of Ephemeral Ports?
Yes.
Like we are using the before to the 1024, it can able to open, but what about Ephemeral Port already range with the 1024 and 65535? Because we are already mapped that ports, then these custom ports, is this acceptable?
You already have opened the ephemeral ports range, right?
Yes, we already opened Ephemeral Port, but we are separate ports. Like before 1024 is okay.
Okay.
What about 1024 and above ports? Because some application they have static ports. Application levels. That time the Ephemeral Ports is already assigned to the NACL, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then after that, the ports they will acceptable or?
They are acceptable. Not a problem.
I have one more question regarding the EC2 mission.
Yes.
Not for this kind of. And here we created an EC2 mission with a scene from there in the IAM rule with the EC2 mission, like a elastic balancing and the load balance, like these IAM rules will be helpful us for extend the quota, like this kind of infra.
Not
IAM
extending goals. IAM roles helps you to provide communication between the services. Okay, Madhu. For example, yeah, let's say a web server is generating some log file, Madhu, and that log file should be saved in S3 bucket. Okay, Madhu. S3 bucket is part of S3 service, right? And this is part of EC2. When you want the communication between the two services, then we go for roles, IAM roles.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you.
I think the EC2 machine is terminated now. Termination process is important. Delete VPC. When you delete VPC, all the components of VPC, that means your internet gateway, route tables, subnets, okay, will be deleted. This is the VPC which we have created. Elastic IP, anyways, we have not created Elastic IP. So see, we have deleted VPC by this NACL. By this time, NACL will have been deleted. Can you see here? NACL is also deleted. So when you delete VPC, the components like internet gateway, NACL, subnets, route tables, all the components of VPC will be deleted. So we have covered all the important concepts related to VPC. I hope you understood why I said VPC is important. It's all about security. EC2 machine is having its advantage. It's about servers. S3 is having its own utility, it's storage. But VPC is no special usage. It is important because it increases the level of security of the client's infrastructure. Guru Prasad, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, Guru Prasad. Yes, your question.
Suppose Facebook is there. Not only one hacker will try, na, multiple hackers will try. How many IPs we can block?
Let's say, for example, there are 50 hackers. Okay. That's the reason I have maintained gap in rule numbers. Rule number 100, rule number 200. Okay. Rule number 3. Why did I maintain gap? Let's say rule number 200 is HTTP is open. Okay. Now you want to block 50 IP addresses, 50 hackers. So 199 hacker 1 IP address, 198 hacker 2 IP address, 197 hacker 3 IP address, 196 hacker 4 IP address. Like this, if there are 50 IP addresses, you have 50 numbers between, right? So these are all rule numbers. You can use it for each and every IP. For 197, 196, you'll have one IP. For 197 rule, you'll have one more IP. Okay, 198 rule, you have one more IP. Like this, these many IP addresses. Okay, Guru Prasad, did you understand?
How many numbers?
There's no
if
restriction.
you... Okay.
So, for example, if you include rule number instead of 100, you mentioned 1000, and here you have 2000. So, how many
Yes,
rule
sir, I
numbers
got
you
you.
can have? 900 hackers, hang 100 and 1000 IP addresses, you can block it. Okay, so there's no restriction. Guru,
Thank you.
clear?
Thank you.
Anything more,
Yes.
Guru?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sri Ram Iyer.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Sir, thank
Sri
you
Ram.
for the
How are
session.
you?
It was very nice. I'm
If
doing great,
you,
sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How is your learning experience in AWS?
Sir, I am practicing a lot. Actually, I also joined. One of your sessions. I was a student of batch 71, but unfortunately I was not able to attend all the sessions.
Complete. Now you are
Yes,
able to complete all the sessions.
yes. So actually, I am. My shift for this week is like 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. So
Not
I
not only you, many people,
yeah.
because of the shift timings, they completely depend on recordings also. Okay, there are hundreds of people who are completely depending on recordings also. Sriram, if you're happy with our training, please refer to your friends. If you're not happy, please message me. Okay.
Sir, I
Okay.
have already referred to many of my friends.
Hmm.
I think some people have joined, but I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
your
think that they have
references.
joined in 74 or 73.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, your question. Any technical question?
it is not. Actually, what I think is that when we open the ephemeral ports for in our NAT gateway, I think that
NAT
is
gateway.
our NACL.
Don't
It was
confuse us. Okay.
yeah,
NAT
sorry.
is no ports. No, NAT is a closed box. We have discussed that.
Yes, Next is a closed box. Sorry.
Hmm.
Actually, I thought of a concept called as port forwarding in networking. So whenever we actually receive any particular request in any well-known ports, it get converted into any other port, so that it is difficult for an hacker to get into the web server or any network component. So so when I learned about NACL, the port forwarding concept immediately
You are
came.
able to relate it to port forwarding.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
confirm that.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. It's not. It's more than port forwarding. It's more professional approach of blocking the ports rather than port forwarding. Okay. So thank you all. With this, we have completed the concept of VPC. What's tomorrow's plan? It's very interesting service. Route 53. Okay. DNS service. Okay, which is very, very important. Stay tuned for tomorrow's class. Thank you very much and bye everybody.